Hi and welcome to the Science Fantasy Experience and to a look back at April. Pickups, reveals and a response. All things toys and nostalgia. So let's get into it. So first up at the start of the month we have got G.I. Joe Classified Outback in his Tiger Force gear. When this was revealed, I absolutely lost my mind. Shocked and then just obviously overwhelmed with emotion and excitement. Tiger Force is by far my favourite iteration of G.I. Joe Action Force. Back when it came out in the late 80s, I loved it. It was amazing seeing Action Force G.I. Joe back on the toy shelves. It hadn't been really on the toy shelves for a few years for me, and I only had a handful of Tiger Force stuff. I used to endlessly look at the Argos and Index catalogue, the K's catalogue, the Freeman's catalogue, at the G.I. Joe pages, and just seeing the incredible Tiger Force deco, it blew me away. Seeing Cobra vehicles reused as Joe vehicles with this somewhat outlandish colour scheme, and the really selected such good characters, yeah, just mind-blowing. To then have it revealed in Classified, as I said, shocked. I just didn't think Classified was going to go down the Tiger Force route that quickly. But yeah, here we are. You know, I figured they were just going to do the first kind of main core characters. I figured we would have got like way other characters before this guy. Yeah, I could go on about my obsession of Tiger Force for ages, but let's have a look at the box. You get that incredible logo. It has the star, it has the stripes, and then it has the tiger. It has got incredibly awesome pastel chalk artwork. The best part, apart from the figures, is how they do the boxes. It's a big window, you get to see the figure, and then you have individual artwork by so many different artists, and it's not just hand drawn, it's digital, it's inspired by pop art. This one, as I said, is a very fine art chalk pastel. Look at the detail with the white chalk. It's, I think it's absolutely sublime. And then you've got the new background, which, you know, shows deep in the jungle. Awesome, so good. The figure though, the figure is sublime. The orange is absolutely incredible. It's so deep and rich. The iconic Tiger Force logo emblazoned over his t-shirt. Outback is by far the selling point for Tiger Force. He's iconic. He is the one from the line that kind of so many people wanted. So elusive. Even like the original Outback character is hard to get, and then obviously as time has progressed, it's got more and more, you know, desirable. But now to have it in 6-inch form, and he's now a standout from the classified line. Slightly retooled the same body parts, but they've just added an incredibly detailed backpack with the fact of putting spade, flashlight, knife, holstered gun with a pistol that's got bandage wraps added to it. Real life inspired weapons as opposed to the futuristic looking toy kind of aesthetic of the first kind of waves. Roadblock had a very kind of sci-fi weapon. Snake Eyes was full of those types of weapons, which I did like, but I like a bit of realism for sure. Face sculpt, incredible. Deep ridges on his face. It shows his age. You know, he's an older Joe, much more mature to say Duke or Flint, with his salt and pepper beard, mullet, Michael McDonald style headband. I'm absolutely in awe of this. Possibly out of the 8 figures I have, as I'm absolutely cherry picking, he is by far my favourite. Don't get me wrong, Major Blood and the Cobra Infantry Trooper, whichever one it is that I have, they're pretty much exactly the same. They're good. Awesome updates, but they do not come close to Outback. And he's not the only one. In April, they hit us with Tiger Force reveals. Recondo, Bazooka, and Duke. And Duke comes with the Ram Cycle done with a Tiger Deco. It's exhilarating. I cannot wait. I would have been happy with, you know, the standard Bazooka for sure. I've already got a Bazooka in my collection twice. But to have a Tiger Force Bazooka, just classified is nailing it. There was way more reveals in April. Too many to mention. Dr. Mindbender as a deluxe, incredible. Zorana, I am ready for another female character, especially Zartan's sister, the Dreadnought. But yeah, I cannot wait for more classified. Before I get into my next pickup, I wanted to do a response. A response to massive chug hands himself, BordersDude. He posed the question, which Transformers have you picked up this year that have perhaps left you disappointed, loved, and been surprised by? I've not picked up any Transformers this year so far, but obviously I've picked up a varying amount of different properties in terms of action figures. And I know John's a big action figures fan. He loves his Power Rangers, he loves his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he's James Bond Jr. So I figured I would choose my 3 from those. I've not been disappointed by any toy that I've picked up this year. To be honest, in the grand scheme of things, over the last few years, I've really not been disappointed at all. I often say that I cherry pick and I don't go too overboard when it comes to picking stuff up. So as I said, I'm not overly disappointed with anything, but I do have niggles. And my niggle is loose joints. So here is G.I. Joe Classified Flint, which, if you have seen my haul video last month, you'll have seen that I have customised it, changed it up a little bit. I was happy with it when I got it. It's the body armour that I didn't like, so obviously I slightly changed it and put in Valorburst weapons. But he is the loosest figure I have out of the classified ones that I've picked up last year and this year, and it's a real shame. Like, I dig what I've done to it, making him more UK Action Force Weekly comic, and this is the pose I want to have him in, but as I said, he needs a stand and he's wobbly. When I put him into other poses, he's absolutely fine. He's tight as anything, but he's a wobbler. Am I disappointed? No, because he's great. As I said, niggles. So, which action figure have I loved so far? That would be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Finster. I absolutely love this to death. Again, it's of the 4 Power Rangers I have, again, by far the best. The others are great. I like them a lot, but I do not love them as much as this. You know, I'm not the biggest Power Rangers fan at all. I really only like the first 3 seasons. But he's lovely. The face sculpt, the moulded detail, movable parts, a suitcase with putties inside, a host of weapons, you know, tiny glasses made out of malleable plastic, so I know I'm not going to break them, crack them, lose them. Tiny intricate details like earrings, which it's like he jumped off the screen. I do always say I'm not always, nothing, I'm getting all my words mixed up. I don't need every toy, every action figure, robot I have to be screen accurate. But when they nail it, I'm all over it, and he just, it does look like he jumped off the screen. So yeah, loving this guy. Loved him since I got him back at the start of the year. And finally, what has surprised me? Well, that would be Marvel Legends Maverick. What a surprise this guy was. Not only was it a surprise grabbing it for £12, insane, right? I would have paid the original 22. I was so interested in getting him, I would have been happy to pay that. That's pretty much the going rate for a Marvel Legends nowadays. But yeah, to get him half price, and then to be so surprised by him. The pearlescent plastic works so good. It gives him that sheen. It works a lot better than the standardized plain matte yellow, which obviously a lot of the main X-Men characters come in, but because he's part of Weapon X, it suits him perfectly. Surprising stature is he's so much taller than a lot of the other figures. It's not that he towers over people, but he has got some serious height to it. Super posable, insane weapons. Looks like a perfect blend of the comic and the one episode that he appears in the 90s cartoon X-Lies and Videotape. That's pretty much my inspiration for picking him up. What an episode. What an incredible episode. Detail on his hair, his face. Yeah, huge surprise and an incredible pickup at the start of the year. My thanks to John, BordersDude, for doing such a interesting question. I don't often find time to do responses, so my hat's off to him. Maybe later on in the year, when I get some Transformers, I'll revisit that. Thanks once again to BordersDude. April saw the release of Action Force by Valaverse Wave 2A. And learning from my previous mistake, I have pre-ordered one of each. I wasn't getting caught out this time. So we have got the Scarabs, Rollout, Duster and Sgt Slaughter version 2. First up, the Scarabs. So we have got the Scarab Trooper. The Swarm Trooper was the aerial assault. The Scarabs are the ground assault. So, utilising a different body mould, although it's various parts from different ones put together, you now get the ground assault troopers. Slightly different from the Swarm, with a different helmet, but the same colour, the same lurid fluorescent yellow. Battle damage, scuffs, dents, grazes, huge assault rifle. Obviously with the weapons pack, the Bravo pack, you get different weapons for these troopers, but I've gone with his existing weapon because I gave the Swarm Trooper the other weapons. And with Wave 2, you start to get what I like to refer to in my collection is companion pieces. For people familiar with the way that I collect in my videos, you'll know that I like to get 2 or 3 characters that just go well together. Batman and the Grey Ghost, that's a little duo I have. We have Scourge and Cyclonus, the comedy duo from season 3. But yeah, now with Valaverse, you start to get companion pieces. So here he is with the Swarm Trooper, and you can see how well they complement each other. I'm tempted to give the Riot Shield to the Scarab, because I feel like a Riot Shield is more ground based, and then whack him on a flight stand. Endless possibilities, obviously, and as you can see, they're so incredibly poseable. Yeah, first up, Scarab. I don't want to go into too much detail with Valaverse, as I'm slowly planning a series dedicated to Action Force. When I've got 2B, then we'll do nice little fresh new looks, little 5-minute, 6-minute episodes of each character. I take a proper look at the box and the bio. Yeah, that's for in the summertime. Next up, we have got Rollout, which again utilizes different body parts but complements Condor. They now look like a unit together. Switched out a few weapons, so the colour matches, added helmet. It's awesome to have African American, some colour in the line. It was predominantly white, so it's great to see that ethnicity coming through. I know Wave 3 is going to have even more. varied characters, and it's just incredible. What a muscular devil. Night vision goggles. Obviously you can have him helmeted. Helmet on Condor. Endless possibilities. So good. Before I peak too soon, I know I'm going to say this is the most exciting toy line this year, and it is. Next up, we are into the realms of real people. Active people in the forces, as well as G.I. Joes, wrestlers, and now an Action Force alumni. It's Duster, Tim Kennedy, as I said, a real life, I do know this, senior special forces weapons expert in active duty, as well as an MMA fighter. We have got Tim Kennedy as Duster, and he's a revelation, much like Kerak. Not that I wasn't going to get him, but I wasn't that overly fussed on it. I don't know if it's, I saw an early prototype and I didn't quite get the head sculpt, but now that I see it and doing not research but actually having a look at who Tim Kennedy is, they've like absolutely nailed his face sculpt and giving him headgear. He's just absolutely full to the brim with equipment, pockets, an even bigger assault rifle than the other guys, extra magazines, cabinas, radio equipment, a knife. It's incredible. The olive drab, he's gone for the trousers over the boots compared to the likes of Condor. Again, they like, it's a unit now because they're just, the colours are so complementary. They sit so well together. Stunning, absolutely stunning. And then we have got Sgt Slaughter version 2, which takes the Sarge into a slightly different look. It gives him way more of a Marine commando look. I've switched out his traditional hat for a Marine cover. No glasses this time. He does come with a gold set of glasses, but it's quite nice to have a bit of a different look to him. Vested, still with his signature huge Magnum pistol. This time we've got a water bottle as opposed to his knife, and then decked out with a rocket launcher. In some ways I don't really double dip. Once I've got a version of a character, I'm pretty good. I don't need to get multiples of the same character every once in a while. So I've got like 2 hot rods, I've got 2 bazookas, 2 Casey Jones. Although Casey Jones, one's like a movie one, one's like a Playmates toy. But to put in with version 1, you just get so much difference. Could even be like 2 characters if you switch out bits and pieces. You could make this one easily way more G.I. Joe by removing his jacket, give him that signature Action Force the movie, G.I. Joe the movie, whatever you want to call it. Look, incredible. Sarge's chin every time. So yeah, we've got wave 2A fully in. I can't wait for 2B. 2B, we're going to get Trigger, we're going to get the Garrison Cavalry, Again, Garrison Cavalry is going to be a companion piece to Kerak. That's his army. Yeah, I cannot wait for this next wave. I cannot wait to see wave 3. We've seen a few prototypes. We've seen a few kind of bits and pieces here and there. Incredible. Incredible sights to be had. This month is just awesome. So, back when I was 10 years old, my favourite packet of crisps, or potato chips for my American viewers, subscribers, or anybody worldwide, were Space Raiders. Although Space Raiders are kind of a maize corn based snack as opposed to potato. That's by the by. And I absolutely adored the packaging as much as the taste, you know, crazy pickled onion flavour that blows your head off and makes you cry. A beautiful symbiosis of taste, texture and packaging. So much so that the packaging, you would have like a couple of panels of a comic on the back, and you'd also have bios of the characters. 10-year-old me was desperate for toys of these, but obviously that was never going to be a thing. A 10p packet of crisps is not going to get an action figure, is it? Not until you're 40. When you're in your 40s and something as incredible as a 3 3/4 action figure based off a packet of crisps exists, you're going to lose your mind. Here we have Astra, the main villain. I always saw her as a villain of Space Raiders. It has been beautifully recreated in terms of the packaging, down to the logo, to the artwork, and to the 3 3/4 action figure that also comes with her laser pistol and her snake staff. It's been so beautifully created, down to the fact that the paint's all kind of like gloopy, not filled in places. It's an incredible nostalgic trip, and I never thought it would ever be a thing. It's just like the actual packet. I'm sure some of you can tell this isn't going to get opened. It's going to stay fully sealed. I know what 3 3/4 action figures with 4 points of articulation are like. So yeah, it's going to stay sealed, but I can't bear to destroy someone's hard work and artwork. Taking a look at the back, you can see what other products Namer Studios do. You have got Trapdoor, the clay animation, or claymation if you will, mid-80s children's TV show. You've got Fiendish Feet, spooky monster inspired yogurt pops. Trip to Eclipse, which is a late 90s rave music scene clothing label that you used to get at market stalls. Sure. And you've got Panda Pops, you know, a cheaper alternative to Coca-Cola. Very cheap indeed. The Muncher, I'm not familiar with. I have no memory of that. But we also have Grot Bags. Everyone's favourite green-skinned witch terrorising kids with her golden hand in the Pink Moon Mill with Rod and Emu. Namer Studios have just taken some iconic British properties and realised them into existence. Things that you never expect you're going to get. I loved eating those yogurts. They're incredible. As you know, a 10-year-old, you don't think to keep yogurt pots for later on in life, and then you've got to spend, X amount of money to get them again. What an incredible thing to exist. As I previously said, this month is awesome. This whole year is awesome for toys. Things that surprise you, things that excite you. It's what toy collecting for me is all about, and sharing it with you guys. I have no pre-orders planned for May. So with that in mind, I reckon I'll probably take a couple of trips to the toy stores for the month of May. So you'll see me back here with either a pickup video or at the end of the month with my May monthly haul. I've been Rudy Sasu, and always remember, it's as much about play as it is display. Thanks for watching.